Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to your daily edition of the Cricket Happening show. And on this particular Cricket Happening show, it is going to be first I have to talk about the England versus Bangladesh match. Today was the first day of the first Test match, and let me tell you, that day was there was someone who actually inscribed their name on the Bangladesh Test history books as you know, Bangladesh had three debutants today. Kamrul Islam Rabi, the pace bowler, did not really live up to the mark, and also they had Sabir Rahman getting making his Test debut. But the man who made his debut very memorable was the 18-year-old right arm off spinner from Bangladesh. Mehdi Hassan was actually having the first taste of international cricket, and what a debut for him. He showed that he is having something in him, and also one has to say that the Bangladesh skipper Mushfiqur Rahim had the guts to actually give him the new ball, and definitely we saw the ball was turning right away from day one. And what a beautiful piece of bowling from Mehdi Hassan. He picked up the top wickets. He shaved the cream of the England batting order, and then went on to capture 5 wickets on his very first Test match, on Test debut, getting 5 wickets and joining a lot of other Bangladesh debutant spinners who have done the same in the past. So that is something, and England actually went on to 258. They recovered from that due to with Barstow and Moeen Ali doing some very good contributions, as England recovered to 258 for 7 at close of play, where Mehdi Hassan, the right-arm spinner, totally dominated the English batsman. And as far as the second ODI was concerned between India and New Zealand, well, the match was won by New Zealand with Hardik Pandya once again trying to impress, this time with the bat. Tried his bit to actually take India to victory, but unfortunately that was not to be, as India had to really digest the defeat, because this match which India lost was by a very small margin. It was just by 6 runs that they lost the second ODI. But the good thing was that New Zealand actually leveled the series, and also there's one important record which happened. The last time that New Zealand beat India in an ODI was way back in the year 2003. So you can just imagine what is the sort of domination that India have had over New Zealand in ODIs at home, as today this was their first victory after 13 years, beating India in an ODI. And not only that, this was their first ever win of their tour of India. So this would give them a bit of confidence. And Kane Williamson, the captain, dictated his way in the New Zealand team by scoring a century. So, and also tomorrow we are back to red ball cricket now, after West Indies losing the first day-night Test match, and now the second Test match is going to be played in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be red ball cricket between the West Indies and Pakistan. I'm talking about the second Test match. So first I'm going to head off towards the England versus Bangladesh match. As I said, England were the ones who actually won the toss here, and one knew for a fact that England were electing to bat first. And as you know, Alistair Cook made history, as he now became the most capped player as far as English Test cricket is concerned, as he now had his 134th Test cap. And the toss was won by England, and there were 3 debutants for Bangladesh, as I said, and 1 debutant for England, and he was the opener, Ben Duckett, who was actually partnering Alistair Cook. So it all started with Shafiul Islam getting the first over, but the second over, probably one was waiting that the ball is going to be tossed up to Kamrul Islam Rabi, but it was not to be. Mushfiqur Rahim, I would say, is a very bold captain. He wanted to see whether there is any turn on this pitch, and he brought his test debutant bowler, and that is I thought it was a very good decision on the part of Mushfiqur Rahim, because one is he wanted to see whether it was turn, and he also wanted to put somebody new against the Englishman first up to see, and that really worked. And Mehdi Hassan turned out, Mehdi Hassan Miraz is his full name, and he was the one. The first over, well, he was actually bowling outside the off stump, and then the captain Mushfiqur Rahim gave him some instructions to bowl a stump to stump line, and that is where, in fact, he got the he really got working, I would say. As we saw Alistair Cook and Ben Duckett open the innings, and then Ben Duckett on debut after hitting two boundaries was the first victim of Mehdi Hassan Miraz, the right arm off spinner, the 18-year-old boy, as the 18-year-old boy actually forced Ben Duckett to actually play a stroke, because this was a very good delivery from Miraz, one could say, because the ball was actually pitched outside the leg stump. It turned across the face of the bat of Ben Duckett and plucked his off stump. What a wicket there for Miraz, and what a absolute delight for him as he took his first wicket. And so Ben Duckett was gone bowled by Miraz for 14 with two boundaries, and after that Alistair Cook playing a very injudicious stroke. In fact, he was trying to sweep the ball, but the ball bobbed off his knee pad, I suppose, or it went onto the stumps. Shakib Al Hasan was the bowler, and England were in trouble, losing both the openers at 18 for 2. And we definitely saw right from the day, right from the time the Bangladesh spinner started, and initially when he saw that Mehdi Hassan was turning the ball, immediately Mushfiqur Rahim summoned Shakib Al Hasan into the mix, and Shakib Al Hasan also didn't disappoint. So that made it 18 for 2. After that, Gary Balance and Joe Root, two batsmen in the middle. Joe Root started off. Kamrul Islam Ravi was making his debut. He was slapped for 4 boundaries in a single over, with his line being a bit awry. And Gary Balance was the next victim of Mehdi Hassan Miraz. And this was another good delivery from Mehdi Hassan Miraz. Now, this was a ball which actually had befuddled Balance. Balance probably was playing for the turn, but the ball went in arrow straight and he was gone. So this was the right arm off spinner stock delivery, the arm ball when we call it, the floater as we call it as far as the right arm off spinners are concerned, and Balance was a goner. He was gone for 1, and England were in real trouble at 21 for 3. After that, Moeen Ali came in, and Moeen Ali and Joe Root slowly started retrieving the situation for England to a certain extent by putting on 62 runs, with Joe Root, as I said, started off with 4 boundaries in one single of Kamrul Islam Rabi, but then once again it was that boy Mehdi Hassan Miraz. Now once this was a ball from Mehdi Hassan Miraz which actually was turning, and Joe Root got sucked into it as Sabir Rahman took the catch. He was gone for 40 with 5 boundaries. So that made it 83 for 4. And then to compound matters, the mercurial all-rounder Ben Stokes was a victim. Now this was a beautiful delivery from Shakib Al Hasan, which actually snaked in through the bat and pad gap of Ben Stokes and went on to hit the stumps. And England were really, had a backs to the wall situation at 106 for 5, as Ben Stokes was gone for 18 with just 1 6. So 106 for 5, and then now we had Jonathan Barristow walking in and joining Moeen Ali, who was also playing some stroke, but at the same time was making sure that he was staying at the wicket, with the England really struggling, one could say, at that particular score. But from 106, we had a nice little partnership which happened between Jonathan Barristow and Moeen Ali, as they added 88 runs for the 6th wicket. And finally, as Moeen Ali was really lucky, because he had twice or thrice the umpire Kumar Dharmasena giving him out, and on the review he was ruled not out. So he really survived. But Jonathan Barristow was looking pretty serene in his stroke making, and he was stroking the ball very fluently. But then Mehdi Hassan Miraz came back for his next spell, and he was the one once again instrumental in breaking this partnership, as he had, I would say, he probably bowled his best ball in this, and this was also a straight delivery which Mehdi Hassan bowled, which Barristow knew nothing about, and his stumps were gone. It hit the stumps, and Bairstow also, by Bairstow, after contributing 52 with 8 boundaries, also became, it was just one shot of actually breaking the record of Andy Flower of Zimbabwe, I reckon, who had the most number of runs in a calendar year. And now Bairstow still has 13 innings to do so, because there are a lot of test matches coming up. England are going to India. So basically, he would have an opportunity. He would have definitely broken the record of Andy Flower. But he's just short by just one run. And Bairstow has been very, very consistent, as we know. After that, so there was some respectability to the score at 194 for 6. And then we saw Chris Wokes come in and join Moeen Ali. And Chris Wokes was playing very crisply, and he was hitting some very good boundaries. But then Moeen Ali, after contributing 68, gave the 5th wicket on debut to Mehdi Hassan Miraz, as Moeen Ali was gone, caught Mushfiqur Rahim of the bowling Mehdi Hassan Miraz for 68, 8 fours and 1 6. And at the close of play, England were 258 for 7. Wokes was not out on 36 with 5 boundaries. Adil Rashid was not out on 5, and thus ended the day for England. And definitely dominated by this 18-year-old right-arm offie, Mehdi Hassan Miraz. Very impressive. 33 overs, 6 maidens, 64 runs, 5 wickets on Test debut. Splendid bowling figures. Shafil Islam none for 33. Kamrul Islam Rabi on his debut was not impressive at all. 8 overs, cracked for 41 runs. Shakib Al Hasan 19 overs, 6 maidens, 46 runs and 2 wickets. Tajul Islam, the left-arm spinner, could not get any wicket. 17 overs, 8 minutes, none for 28. Sabir Rahman 3 overs for 11. Mahmudullah 2 overs for 17. Mominullah. So definitely there's a lot of work to be done for England, and they would like to really stretch on this score tomorrow, because there is definitely turn on the pitch, and England also have some very good spinners, let me tell you that. Well, from here we are getting on to the second one-day international between India and New Zealand, which was played at the Firozshah Kotla in Delhi. New Zealand were the ones who actually batted first. The toss was won by India, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided that the Kiwis would bat first. Well, the Kiwis batted first, and they were not looking. Once again, Martin Guptill definitely struggling with his form for sure, as Umesh Yadav was the one who nipped this wicket in the very first over. In the second delivery, he ripped the stumps of Guptill for naught, and after that, we saw Tom Latham and Kane Williamson combine in a very good partnership, as they actually started repairing the situation for New Zealand after losing their opener Guptill, with Williamson seeing that this pitch was a bit holding a bit, and he definitely decided to bide his time at the crease, but also he was presenting he was making a very good presentation of his strokes there. At the other end, Latham was also looking pretty solid, and this partnership was doing well for New Zealand, as the score reached 120 in the 20 overs. So basically they were at a clip of 6 runs per over, which was pretty good, and Kane Williamson was playing some very nice strokes. The classic strokes were really coming out. It was very good to see. And then while that was happening, Deepak Jadhav was the one who picked up the wicket of Latham by hitting him LBW for 46 with 6 boundaries. At that score for 120 for 2, and after that we saw sort of a mini collapse happening there, because what happened was Ross Taylor once again failed here. He was a victim of the bowling of Mishra for 21 of 42 deliveries, 2 fours, and then Corey Anderson was snapped LBW ball Mishra for 21 of 32 balls. But Kane Williamson was the one who was not only holding the fort and also making the scoreboard really tick, as Kane Williamson was doing a fine job. In fact, it was I thought by his standards it was a very quick century by Kane Williamson, as he carved 118 runs of 128 deliveries with 14 fours and 1 6, as Kane Williamson was doing well. And even when Kane Williamson departed, I thought New Zealand were still well placed. They were 213 in the 43rd over, but after that it was totally a flop show from New Zealand, because they kept on losing wickets, with Luke Ronchi being a victim of the bowling. He was caught behind the bowling of Akshar Patel for 6. It was a real collapse, I would say. From 213, a mere 29 runs were added, and they were reduced to 242 for 9, as Ronke was out for 6, and Jasprit Bumrah, well, he showed that what a wonderful death bowler he is, as he was getting those pinpoint Yorkers, and he was also really making a lot of pace variations, and the New Zealand batsmen were not able to pick him up. Anton Davisic was victim of Bumrah for 7 of 6 deliveries. Tim Southee's stumps were gone. What a Yorker from Bumrah, really finding the target. And Matt Henry was bowled by Bumrah for 6. And the New Zealand had to be content with 242 for 9, with Santner not out on 9 of 16 deliveries. Trent Boult was not out on 5. 242 for 9 was the final tally, which I'm sure New Zealand would have not been happy with, because, as I said, after doing all the hard work, Kane Williamson, as I said, that the middle and lower order totally collapsed for New Zealand. Umesh Yadav 1 for 42. Pandya couldn't get any rewards today, none for 45 is 9. But Bumrah was the most impressive. 10 overs, no maiden, 35 runs, and he picked up 3 wickets in the death overs. Akshar Patel 10 was 149. Mishra was costly, but in the bargain picked up 3 wickets there. 1 for 11 for Deepak Jadhav. As far as India were concerned, their chase did not start off in the right note, one could say. Rohit Sharma was kept really quiet by Trent Boult, with Trent Boult testing him, and in fact he had bowled back-to-back maidens at Rohit Sharma, and India were really struggling. I mean, the run rate was not really getting up, and then finally, after bowling 2 maiden overs to Rohit Sharma, Trent Boult was the one who nipped the wicket of Rohit Sharma by getting him caught by Luke Ronke for 15 of 27, 1-4 and 1-6. After that, we saw Kohli being out very cheaply, as Santner had him caught behind for 9, and we had Rahane in the centre, but Rahane finally, after making 28 of 49 balls with 3 fours, was a victim of the bowling of Saudi. And then Manish Pandey once again could not really capitalize. He made 19 of 25 balls with 1-4. Very unfortunately, he was run out for 19, and when Pandey went, the Indian score read 73 for 4 in the 20th over, and we had Jadhav and Dhoni at the crease. Now Jadhav and Dhoni had to definitely, Jadhav in the company of Dhoni really prospered, and both really started stitching together a partnership, as the score slowly started rising, I would say, with a 60 odd run partnership, which happened, 66 or 67 run partnership, which went on with Jadhav looking more aggressive from the lot, with Dhoni playing the passive partner, but at the other end Jadhav was playing with lots of aggression, as he was going over the top against the spinners. But Matt Henry actually broke that partnership when Jadhav was caught by Ronke for 41 of 37 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes. But Dhoni was looking pretty sedate at the time. But then with the score reading 172 when Akshar Patel joined Dhoni, Dhoni's wicket, according to me, was the key, as that was a brilliant catch. I mean, a brilliant piece of catching from Tim Southee. It was Dhoni actually. Normally, as you know, he just pushes the ball and he runs for the single, and that was what he precisely did. But what a catch taken by Tim Southee, a diving full length, and stretching his left hand and plucking it up, and Dhoni would have been definitely bemused by that wonderful catch that Southee took, and Dhoni had to go cotton bowled Southee for 39 of 65 deliveries, 3 fours, and then it was and then we saw Guptill come in and actually pick up 2 wickets very quickly, as he dismissed Akshar Patel and Amit Mishra for 17 and 1 respectively. But now Hardik Pandya was at the crease along with Umesh Yadav. So from 232, from 183 for 8, Hardik Pandya was the only hope, and Hardik Pandya definitely was doing a fine job. He was not really trying to hit the ball hard. He was playing some sensible cricket. Umesh Yadav was giving him some tremendous company, and the partnership was giving hope to India. The crowd was really hopeful as this particular partnership added 49 runs, I would say, in 8 overs. And in fact, it was Hardik Pandya who was actually definitely get India inching towards the target. But Hardik Pandya was a victim of the bowling of Bolt as he tried a tennis stroke at the bowling of Bolt, and it was a forehand smash from Hardik Pandya, which found Santner taking the catch. He was gone for 36 of 32 balls with 3 fours, and then once Hardik Pandya went, Indian hopes evaporated as Bumrah was clean bowled by Saudi for naught to bring an end to the Indian inning. But I thought Umesh Yadav did pretty well to stay put there with an unbeaten 18 of 23 balls with 1 4, and there was absolute relief on the faces of the New Zealand players. As I said, after 13 years, they are beating India in an ODI, and they leveled the series 1-1. Now, as far as the bowling was concerned, I'm not going to go into the details. Tim Southee at 3 for 52, 2 for 25 for Bolt, 1 for 51 for Henry, and 1 to Santner and 1 to 4. And Guptill had 2 wickets. Kane Williamson was named man of the match. Well, as I said, I don't have much time to dwell on anything right now. It's about time for me to put a stop on this cricket show for today, but telling you that tomorrow red ball cricket returns in Abu Dhabi with the second test match being played between Pakistan and West Indies. And I'll be there with match reports on, the summaries of England and Bangladesh and that particular match tomorrow. Till such time, I see you dear folks. This is your host Ram bidding good night.